Bulletcast for life.
Hey there, people of Earth, humanoids. It's Phillip Antwine, the host of the Bulletcast here, and I'm joined with my good co-host Brandon. How's it going there, guy?
It's going good. I'm finally on one of these special edition podcasts.
Special edition.
Usually have the schmucks on here to discuss the lower level stuff, but we're stepping up our audio quality right now.
Stepping it up, yeah. He's the current Bulletcast champion. At the time of this recording, I should say.
I'm gonna be it forever.
I'm gonna be it forever. All right. So we are here to talk about Evolution, an all-women's pay-per-view announced by WWE a few weeks ago, and we are discussing some women that we think should make a return to WWE and be on this card. What should we name this? What should we name this podcast?
I don't know. You're the host. You're the guy who does everything. I just show up and talk. I just show up and hope to get rich.
Get rich. All right. So I guess I'll start off with my number 5. Or do you want to start off?
Hey, you can go first.
All right. So I only picked 5 women who I think should come back. Number 5, Jazz. We all remember Jazz. Back in the day, back in the early 2000s. The bitch clamp. Tearing up Monday Night Raw. Jazz, she was ahead of her time. She was like she was the embodiment of like the strong black woman who didn't take no shit from nobody, I guess you want to say. She was managed by Teddy Long, and she had a good run. My boy Damon, that was like his favorite. I think that is still his favorite women's wrestler of all time. She was a badass. She was hardcore. She had a dope theme song. Her finisher, the bitch clamp, which became Beth Phoenix's Glam Slam. It was cool. She had that triple threat at, what was it, WrestleMania, I want to say 19 with Victoria Trish for the women's title. That was a good one. So Jazz, she could wrestle in an era where you got on TV and you were a supermodel or you were like a Playboy bunny. She could wrestle during that time period, and she was intense and she was taken seriously. I think Jazz should return for Evolution.
Sure, she wasn't on the Women's Royal Rumble.
No, she was not.
So on my list, I'm trying to go with people who weren't in the Women's Royal Rumble, just because I feel like everybody who was on that is probably a shoo-in for being on the show. So, Lita and Trish and all those other people. I see your list over there. So I wrote a little bit more than 5 because I had a feeling I would probably, we'd probably overlap on some of them. It looks like we have, especially on that number 3, my favorite wrestler of all time, my first ever women's wrestler's crush.
Oh,
but
man.
We'll start off with, I'm trying to go, off the beaten path right now. So, this one's not so far off the beaten path. One of the first really top women's stars in WWF history. Not the first, but we will go with Medusa.
Ooh, Alundra Blaze.
Or Alundra Blaze. She was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame not too long ago. I was there. It was in San Jose. So it's not like she's on bad terms with the company. I believe she was on the discussion panel for the women's for the Royal Rumble. She's been on the pre-show panels. She's not very coherent. She's not the best person in the world. So
is she in the monster trucking now? Yeah, that's besides the point.
I've seen her. Honestly, I've seen her more at monster truck events than I have seen her at wrestling events.
That's true.
So, back when I was a little kid, I'd see her, and I didn't even know she was a wrestler at the time. She was, the only woman there, and she had a big old USA Medusa thing on the side. I was like, oh, man, she's cool. So, I don't even know if I might have met her before. I don't know, because usually you get there early. You can go on the floor and talk to all the different racers and stuff. But that's besides the point. Medusa, Alundra Blaze, probably, obviously, she's going to be called Alundra Blaze since it's a WWE thing.
Yes, of course.
It seems like they've gotten over the whole WCW thing. And I feel like she's going to come back. I don't know. I think it would be a nice little moment if she would come back for, get everybody on the card Royal Rumble that they're going to have. I don't know what they're going to do for the matches. They're probably going to have, a Battle Royal, get everybody on the card. Maybe they scamper out some of the older women's wrestlers. But I think Alundra Blaze would be a nice little surprise as a entrant into a battle royal, because she definitely looks good. She's healthy, she's fit. I don't know exactly when's the last time she's worked, but she at least looked the part, I think.
Yeah, I mean she's gotten back in Vince's good graces. You could say she returned the WWF Women's Championship, dug it out of that WCW Nitro trash, and brought it back to the Hall of Fame. So I'd love to see Medusa, Alundra Blaze, whatever you're gonna call her, back in the WWE fold in that capacity. Have her come in, do some of her big moves if she can still perform them, and then just get the crowd off to a nice start. All right, so my next one, Victoria Tara in TNA. I had the pleasure of meeting her at an All Pro Wrestling show at the Cow Palace. She was really sweet, very nice, and
She choked me out.
she
She's into that stuff.
oh my, please don't. Yes,
One of my favorite pictures ever taken with a wrestler.
Oh yeah, mine too. Yeah, she that's like her thing. She does when she meets some fans.
I'm whatever. You do you, boo.
Victoria, yeah, she was another one of those girls in the early 2000s in the world of bikini models and supermodels and all that stuff who could actually work. Her run in the early 2000s was cool. She had like that steel cage match with Lita for the women's title.
Molly Holly WrestleMania 20 match.
Molly Holly WrestleMania 20 match. Yeah, she did all that stuff. I was really a fan of her. I don't know why, like not her mid 2000s run when she was doing like the stuff with Candice, but like her later run towards the end of her WWE run when she had the "I'm Not the Lady to Mess With" song, and she had like the spider webbing type gear, and she looked like a badass. She could work the Widow's Peak, one of my favorite moves that I've ever seen performed. And really going with her run in TNA, she did a lot of stuff over there. Her stuff with Madison Rayne, her involvement with Mickie James and Velvet Sky, and Jesse Goddard's the dude from Big Brother who became a wrestler or was already a wrestler, whichever one. Her run as Knockouts champion over there. I mean, she's a legend as far as women wrestlers are concerned. Bring her back. It'd be a nice pop for the crowd. She still does like work some indie shows, and so it'd be really fun to see her back in a WWE ring.
Yeah, I mean, Victoria, one of the early memories of women's wrestling was her and Molly Holly at WrestleMania 20, the first ever pay-per-view I ever saw. So, I like Victoria. I don't exactly remember a whole lot from her later run because that's kind of when I've fallen out a little bit with wrestling, but I watched her in TNA in the early 2010s, so remembering that, the whole little spider gimmick she used to have, I think she's definitely one of those people who should come back. Don't know if she's, as you said, she works all that often. She has like a restaurant now that she has down in Chicago.
Yeah, Squared Circle.
So yeah, so she's doing that, so she doesn't need to wrestle. But as I said before, I think you need to really have burned a bridge to not be on the show. And I think Victoria, she is probably somewhat in some good graces. I really hope she's there. That'd be fun.
Me also.
So another person that I like to see trotted on the show, someone who you don't really associate with WWE, with women's wrestling, but she was there for a brief moment. She has feuded with Medusa, and that would be Bull Nakano.
Oh my God!
I know. Just bring
She's still alive?
Yes, she's still alive.
Okay.
I googled it right now, just making sure I don't put any dead people on the list. But or maybe I will put some dead people on the list. We'll find out. We will find out soon. But Bull Nakano, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. Obviously, you can there's Miami Toyota and other Japanese wrestling people, but you're not gonna. I don't expect them to, pay respects to the All Japan women's, from the '90s. But at least Bull Nakano, she was there in WWF for his brief run. This is probably my least likeliest of pick to actually show up at the Evolution pay-per-view, but I think it'd just be a nice little thing just to kind of remember the early women of women's wrestling in WWF.
Yeah, back in the early to mid '90s, that's true. Bull Nakano, I did watch some of her stuff with Alundra Blaze. She was that monster who kind of ran through Alundra during that time period. I'm not really too familiar with her though, so I'd like to see her have like a quick one-off in the ring, stare down with Nia Jax or something. I don't know.
Well, she's not exactly big anymore.
Well, yeah, she slimmed down obviously, but just the monster feel, I think that'd be interesting to have in that gimmick, all women's battle royal thing that they're doing. All right, so next up, I have Melina.
My girl.
Hey, my girl too. Melina, she was she got her start with Eminem during that whole thing, and then she got the woman's title. Really, she morphed into a pretty good wrestler, man. At the end of the run, she was probably like her, Beth and Mickey were the only ones that could actually go during that specific time period in WWE in the mid 2000s and the early 2010s. Yeah, Melina, multiple time women's champion. She won the Divas title. She's really taken a hiatus from wrestling, but she's starting to come back. I think she wrestled Lana Austin somewhere like a year ago, and that was like her big return to wrestling. But she is doing some shows. I know she was doing stuff with the WCPW, and she had that appearance at Lucha Underground with Johnny Mundo when he wrestled Alberto El Patron in the first ever Ultimate Lucha. So yeah, I mean, she's had some brief interactions with different wrestling organizations. But yeah, Melina coming back, that'd be awesome to see the paparazzi and the red carpet. And she had one of the best entrances out of the women, too.
The best woman's entrance of all time.
Oh, yeah, the split on the apron. I mean, it was so unique for its time. And
she can still do it, too.
I don't know, she can, I believe it. Yeah, it was during that era of, like, when the Kardashians and Paris Hilton, all that reality TV and paparazzi was on them, so she had that entrance, and it was cool, man. I enjoyed it. I'd love to see Melina back.
I love Melina, so I would love to see her come back. She was on my original list too, so I got to scrape her off. I'm not going to talk about her, but I think Melina definitely. I think all the people we're kind of talking about right now, except for maybe like the top one or two people, maybe come back before the Evolution to set up some sort of match. But I think Melina coming out as kind of a little surprise, maybe trot her out, and I don't exactly know what you would do with a lot of these women, except for just throwing them out there in a battle royal. But I think having her come out, if you have her just do her entrance, get a nice little pop from the crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be fun.
All right.
So
next up,
my next pick, you talked about having a stare down with Nia Jax with Bull Nakano at the Battle Royal. I think a more likely scenario, possibly she's not going to be there, but someone who should be there, one of the great women's wrestlers of this era, that would be Karma or Awesome Kong. I think she definitely should be on the show. You know, she's the thing with Glow, so she's kind of a bigger star now. She wasn't even on the on SmackDown when they did the whole Glow thing backstage, which was a little bit disappointing.
True.
So I wanted to see her be there, but don't know if there's any hard feelings there. I don't exactly know what's going down with that. Because we all know she unfortunately had to leave because she had a pregnancy, and the baby unfortunately did not. She passed away.
She had a miscarriage, yes.
So I don't know if there's any sour feelings about what the Bella Twins said about her on the way out, and if that was like, I'm not saying it was a shoot by any means, but maybe she didn't like exactly the writing of it to script her like that,
yeah.
Or the Bella Twins like that. But I think Kong being one of the great women's wrestlers, obviously she didn't really live up to her potential in WWE because she didn't have that long of a run in WWE, but having her just kind of come out there and having maybe a face down with Nia Jax, I think that'd be a fun little thing to see.
Yeah.
Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong, she had a great run in Impact TNA with the likes of Gail Kim, and she had some decent matches actually with Angelina Love and Madison Rayne and Velvet Sky, Brooke Tessmacher. Yeah, so Awesome Kong, Karma, she had a good run. I'd love to see her back, and like you said, she's back in the spotlight with Glow. This next one, probably not. My last two are probably not going to happen, but Gail Kim. She had that original run in the early 2000s. Did not really go over so well. She won the women's title, sure. She went off to TNA. That was the real women's revolution, if we're talking of professional wrestling. It really started back there in like 08, 07. She became the first Knockouts champion, had an amazing run. She's in the TNA Hall of Fame, well-deserving, I might add. She had awesome matches. She even got one out of Taryn Terrell. Do you remember her? She was Tiffany in WWE, the general manager of ECW.
Oh, I remember her. She's the one that looked just like the blonde chick from Big Bang Theory.
Yes. I can't even remember the blonde chick from Big Bang Theory's name.
But she looked just like her when she had long hair.
Yes. They had a great last woman standing match I think it was at a Slammiversary in 2013. It was awesome. So Gail Kim, she could make people who weren't that great as in-ring performers look really good. And she came back in 2009, didn't really have a great run. There's that infamous battle royal where she purposely eliminates herself because she was just over it. She said she had a better run in TNA. She didn't really like the way things worked in WWE. Hopefully, enough time has passed so that Finn can be, and that fence can be mended, and so that we can see her back in WWE.
I mean, Gail Kim, obviously, along with Awesome Kong, they had the great run with that, but it wasn't in WWE, so they're not going to probably talk about that. But Gail Kim maybe underachieved a little bit in WWE. Great wrestler. Once again, just kind of a lot with all these other people. I think it'd be fun to see Gail Kim make a brief comeback and maybe get her and don't know what Becky Lynch is doing, what Asuka's doing, get her in a singles match with somebody.
That'd be nice. Yeah, she'd have to come out of retirement, of course, but
No one stays retired.
I know.
Ask Terry Funk.
Man, ask Terry Funk. He's retired like 30 times since 1999. Oh man. All right. Who's next up for you?
So I'm gonna give two.
Okay.
One's serious, one's not so serious.
Which do you want to go serious or not so serious first?
We'll go serious first.
Okay.
So first off, I said I'm not going to put any dead people on it, but I backtracked, and I think China should definitely be remembered.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'll do something to where I don't know if they're going to outright give her a whole video package like they kind of did after she died. Because I don't exactly know how many of. I mean, they're probably going to do something with Mildred Burke and what's the old ladies' names? The two old ladies.
Oh, Mae Young?
Mae Young and
Fabulous Moolah?
There we go.
Well, Mae Young, she has a whole tournament named after her.
Yeah,
Come on now.
whatever. I forget.
Mae Young wasn't bad. It was the other one.
But I think they're definitely going to do some sort of video package or kind of in memoriam of all the women who've paved the way who are no longer with us.
True.
And I think China definitely should be there. So that's my serious one. Remembering all those who have passed away, which I think they will do. I think they'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the video package to start off the show, they'll have all the different trailblazers, and they'll have all the old people that I just talked about and forgot their names. And then they'll probably put China in there, and then they'll probably do a little quote evolution of women's wrestling. They'll kind of go through the 50s, and then they'll go to the 80s and 90s, and then blah 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 blah, and then they'll go to today. So they'll probably do something like that to start the show off. One not so serious, but I would get a very big pop from me if she would to show up
Jillian Hall?
No, if she would to show up at the Battle Royal. She is undefeated at WrestleMania, has a better winning percentage than The Undertaker, and especially now that Jersey Shore Family Reunion is back and better than ever, I think Snooki should make a return, and she should come onto the Battle Royal, hit one of those springboard back elbows, which looked fantastic. She's in much better shape. She has a little more plastic, so she's a little bit lighter, but she looks a little bit different. I think Snooki coming out, getting a little celebrity rub on the show, I think that'd be fun.
Well, she has to come back then.
And it's in New Jersey or New York, so that's even a better thing.
She has to come back, then Cyndi Lauper has to come back.
She's, just right down the street, take a little drive from her house in New Jersey, go to New York. Is it in Long Island or?
I'm not exactly
It's
sure.
somewhere in New York. It's not the big city of New York. It's somewhere in the state, but
little suburb
it's
type
nearby. It's near New Jersey. I think Snooki, hop on the. I don't know what the highways are over there in New York, but
Hop on the subway.
Take a little half-hour drive, come down to Evolution, hit a little back handspring, and get a nice pop from me.
Snooki, yes, she is undefeated at WrestleMania along with Michael Cole and Rob Van Dam. That's funny. Sure, why not? Celebrity appeal, make it happen.
What other celebrity would you want to be there? I think Snooki is honestly probably the best celebrity.
Maria Menounos? Hold on.
I mean, let's be honest. Snooki put in a better show than Maria Menounos.
Maria Menounos pinned Gail Kim with a sunset flip at WrestleMania 28.
Gail Kim was in that match?
Not Gail Kim.
I was going to say.
Beth Phoenix. Jesus Christ. Gail Kim's on the mind.
I remember she was wearing white pants and she had, makeup on her ass and it looked like she shit herself.
Oh,
I remember that very specifically.
Let's hope she never hears this. Okay, all right. My number one, this most likely is not going to happen, but AJ Lee. AJ Lee.
My other girl.
Your other girl. I mean, we all know what AJ did. She wasn't the quintessential diva, but she won the Divas title 3 times, I might add.
The longest reign until Nikki Bella had to squash that.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that. Her and Punk were the couple with the longest reigning title reign duo type deal or whatever you want to call it. She had that fiery promo on Raw where she ran down the whole Total Divas crew, and she said that talent can't be sexually transmitted, and I was like, oh. She told each of them that they could never lace up her Chuck Taylors, and she was great on the mic, as is her husband. And I'm like, she's off. She has that book tour about mental illness, and you read her book.
One of the few books I've ever read. Her and Dana Bryan.
I believe it, man.
I don't read books all that often, but when I do, they're my favorite wrestlers' books.
Exactly. No, but seriously, AJ Lee making a return, that'd be awesome. That'd do wonders for this event and what they're trying to do, talking about evolution and revolution. That'd be cool. Thoughts on AJ Lee making a return?
Yeah, I mean, AJ Lee, I think, is kind of on the minds of everybody at this point. Hopefully that she comes back. I feel like she might be a little bit overrated in terms of, like, the women's revolution. I mean, I love AJ, but, I mean, she wasn't really setting the world on fire by any means. She was just kind of a fun little character, and she
was a crazy chick.
I mean, that was one of my favorite memories as a wrestling fan, is the whole love triangle of her, Dana Bryan, and CM Punk.
Actually, no, it came. It was like a love square.
Rectangle or square.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little storyline there. And
she became the general manager of Raw.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I read her book. Her book was great to learn about her life. If you're there to learn backstage gossip and her time in WWE, it's not. It's not the book for you. She talks a little bit about how one of the producers said, like, she was unfuckable, so that's why she's not going to, make it in WWE. And, she did.
What producer was that?
I think she was, like, pretty obvious of who it was. I don't know if it exactly was John Laurinaitis. I mean, she hinted at it, but, I mean, I wouldn't.
Did she say he talked like this?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be shocked if it was John Laurinaitis who said that.
Yeah, John. Well, he married the Bella's mom, so what does he know?
I mean, he has high standards.
He does have high standards. I mean, Mama Bella. Whew. All right.
I'm gonna stay away from that one. AJ Lee, I would love for her to come back. I mean, I would love her to have a singles feud, kind of like what Gail Kim I thought might have, but. As we said, it's all up to how she feels about the company. I don't think CM Punk's going to hold her back if they do reach out and she wants to go. I don't think CM Punk's going to be, that guy and say, like, no, don't go because I don't like him. I think she's a grown-ass woman. She can do whatever she wants. If she wants to go back, she can. I mean, obviously, CM Punk had the whole ordeal and she stayed with the company for another year. So
it's very true.
I just hope if she does come back, the crowd is respectful and respects her for being her and don't, bust down to CM Punk chant, which honestly probably is what's going to happen.
Yeah, you were there for her last match.
I was there. Her last two matches.
And she had another one after the Mania one?
Yeah. They had they had the mega 6 or 10 woman tag match, and that was the match which it was fun in its moment, but looking back it wasn't all that fun because we kind of hijacked the match. And you don't actually see this on the show because most of the chants happen during the commercial break, but we basically go through "You Suck" everybody throughout the entire show because they had Naomi, they had the Bella Twins, they had Paige, or they had AJ there, so we're like, you suck Cena, you suck Bryan, you suck Uso, you suck Punk.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know. It was fun. It was fun in the moment, but looking back, not one of my highest moments as a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're forgetting the number one person who should come back.
Well, you haven't talked. I haven't said mine yet.
I'll just play. Go ahead, bud. Oh, I thought you were done.
I'm not done.
Oh, you have more?
I do have more. I know. I gave you like 20, even though Snooki wasn't even on my original list, but she just came to mind. Another person who's not exactly on my official list. You talked about AJ Lee's little pipe bomb because it was on the original cast of Total Divas. Someone who's on that cast who's not with the company anymore. She is not, straight fire because she doesn't have red hair anymore. She has purple hair. Eva Marie should come back, make a dumb little cameo, pretend like she's going to wrestle, but then she doesn't wrestle, then she just leaves. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because really looking back at that, like, when she had that special entrance, the most ravishing, the most whatever that voiceover was saying, I was so excited for it, and then, like, SmackDown was coming to town pretty soon after that started, but then she got suspended, and I was like, oh, man, I don't get to see this. Her and Roman. Yeah. I was like, oh, man, I don't get to see this. Jesus, man.
And they were built. I mean, that was around SummerSlam time, so they were obviously building something for SummerSlam where she finally gets to wrestle.
Yeah, I mean
that was a good little storyline there, and they kind of worked around her. I mean, especially her in NXT. I thought they did a good job of her kind of being the person who we all know can't wrestle, but for some reason she kind of sneaks away with victories and stuff.
Yeah, and she was able to she was able to manipulate the heat, as you could say. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that little brief stint of Eva Marie. Bring all red everything or all purple everything, whatever her hair color is. Bring it back. Make it happen.
Even though I don't think she should wrestle, I think it'd just be a fun little cameo. So now my actual number one pick. Once again, I've given you like 20 people at this point. This is 2 people, but it's technically a combo deal. It would be the original, women's wrestler of the 80s, the woman's Hulk Hogan, you might say. That would be Wendy Richter,
hey.
along with Cyndi Lauper to come back as a little tandem. And I don't think it's going to happen because I'm pretty sure there's been some things that have happened in the WWE. There's been some bridges burned. But maybe Stephanie and Hunter could reach out to her and maybe kind of
bring back Sunny, no? Just joking.
Well, I mean, I would love to see Sable too, but I mean, Sable isn't in the Hall of Fame. She should be.
Yeah, I mean, Sunny, she's on her back building a new empire. Anyway, I mean, Wendy Richter. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the video. Have you?
Let's not speak of that.
I mean, I'm more of a. I think pages are better.
No, let's not speak of those. Wendy Richter, yeah, she's a trailblazer. She had Cyndi Lauper by her side back in the mid '80s. Women's champion. She was actually kept away from the title because of Fabulous Moolah and some backstage politicking.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Fabulous Moolah.
That 28-year reign.
Doing business for herself.
28-year reign. Pimping girls out. But Wendy Richter, trailblazer, an amazing competitor, true legend. She went in the Hall of Fame. When was it? Like 2011, I think. I believe.
Well, I can look it up.
You can look it up
because I did. I googled her. Oh, here we go.
You googled her.
Yep. She retired in 2005, so she's been wrestling for a very long time.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Let's see. Championships and accomplishments. Would that be something?
Accomplishments, yeah.
She was in the 2010 Hall of Fame class.
Okay.
So there you go.
I got it wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, people. But yeah. So Wendy Richter. So I guess let's read off all these names.
Oh my! I got a lot of names.
Yeah. Let's go. Brandon. He said Alundra Blaze, Bull Nakano, Karma, aka Awesome Kong, China to be remembered, Snooki.
Oh yeah.
Eva Marie and Wendy Richter. Myself, I said Jazz, Victoria, Melina, Gail Kim, and AJ Lee. I think that'll wrap this up.
Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, honestly, looking at our list, I think the only ones that are. I think Alundra Blaze is probably the safest pick. Jazz is probably going to be there. Victoria, maybe. Melina, maybe. I think Gail Kim is probably going to be there. AJ Lee, it's a toss-up of how she feels about it.
Yeah, really looking at this, the only shoe-in would most likely be Alundra Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, she's done stuff with the company already, but, I mean, all the other ones, I mean, Jazz, I think, should be there. Victoria should be there. Melina, I mean, she's more of kind of remembered as a manager, doing the splits, but, I mean, if you're going to bring everybody back, might as well bring everybody back.
Yes, absolutely.
But obviously, I would love to see AJ Lee.
Oh, of course. That's amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this bonus podcast. This is being recorded August 8th on a Wednesday. Don't know when I'm going to release this. It could be in September, could be in October. We don't know. Well, stay tuned for all the other Bulletcast shows. You got Under the Radar, you have the regular episodes, Black Power Ranking, Top 5. I'm looking to start that up again pretty soon. Any closing remarks?
No, I mean, looking forward to the Evolution pay-per-view. Hopefully this means that they actually build up women's storylines. There's going to be more than just, a storyline or two on each show. I mean, it's looking like, obviously, you're going to have, like, the Raw championship match, the SmackDown championship match after that.
NXT.
The NXT title match, they're going to have the finals of the Mae Young Classic. So hopefully there's no tag team championships to be decided. There's going to obviously be the big-ass Battle Royal. Hopefully there's some other, lower singles matches, possibly, integrating legends with today's current crop of stars. So it should be fun.
Yes. I'm excited for Evolution. I think they've already picked out a theme song for it. I'm not sure. I was a proponent of a female band doing a cover of the Evolution theme song. I thought that would have been cool, but, it's...
Do you think Triple H likes it being called Evolution, or do you think he would have rather have it be something else?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm not going to say he's perturbed, but I think he's just like, really? I mean, we already have something called Evolution in WWE history. You can pick anything else.
Yeah,
I mean, Revolution. I don't know if they do Revolution because that's kind of like going up against authority, and Evolution's kind of like building and evolving and something like that.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could look up like synonyms for evolution and pick something from that.
But the serious question is, does Stephanie McMahon go over strong at the end of the show?
Oh, of course, she's having that rematch with Brie Bella from SummerSlam 2014. Weren't you there?
Yeah, I was there. It was a fun match. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
It was fun. I mean, we all saw Nikki turning from a mile away, and it was fun.
the forearm heard round the world.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're wrapping this one up. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys later.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.